I think the biggest thing that filmmakers leave out is the distribution plan. Filmmakers inevitably spend all this time figuring out what their story is or what they want what story they want to tell. They'll spend all this time figuring out who to cast or who's going to shoot the movie or what lens should they use or what camera body should they use, what editing system should they use. They don't give any consideration, or they give very little consideration to one of arguably the most important aspects, which is how do I get my movie actually seen by an audience? If they do that, and they think about that, and they find that solution before they shoot a single frame, they're stacking chips in their favor.
Okay. Let me push back on that a little bit, because I think it's a great point. Like, as a filmmaker, I can definitely say it's easier said than done. Like, as a filmmaker, like if I did all these things that you're saying, I think I would never make a film. Like, if I sat around and waited for all the plans to align, and there's some of that, and like, so give me some specifics. Like, how can I, for my next film, how can I line up the distribution? How can I go through those steps that you're talking about?
The idea with a screenplay is, I think Stanley Kubrick said this, is like, a screenplay is not meant to be read. It's not meant to be read. It's meant to be actualized. I think it's important for people to write things that are essentially producible. That's the key. Like, write something, and that's why I say, if you're going to write a story about drug rehabilitation in South Dakota, like, great, but write that story. But then figure out how to make that, like, hell or high water. Not the movie, but the cliche. Like, figure out how to get that script into production. A lot of times, people will talk to us, they'll say, I've got this great film. And it's, oh, that's cool. Like, send it to me. Oh no, it's just a script. So it's not a picture. It's not a motion picture. It's an idea. Like, it's words on a page. Get the most important thing is, like, how are you going to get those words on a page into a piece of motion picture product? One of the last times we spoke, I think after you did a draft for us, you were going to make like a passion project. You were, and that was our conversation. I remember, was something to the extent of, like, hell or high water, distribution be damned, I'm going to make this movie. This is what I want to do. And I, like, that type of passion is so inspiring to me. Some would call it foolhardy, but
it's a fine line. Yeah.
There's a fine line, right? From my perspective, knowing what I know and operating as we operate, like, I always like to make sure that whatever creative endeavor I'm about to get into, I know the distribution repercussions. I know the where this project is positioned, because I know how hard it would be to actually get Snake out of Compton to be, to star Dwayne The Rock Johnson and be $125 million property. Like, that's not my goal for that picture. I don't want to wait. Like, that title, you should not marinate on it for 5.5 years of packaging. You should make it now.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Selling Your Screenplay podcast. If you'd like to hear the full interview, just go to sellingyourscreenplay.com/podcasts. Or to go directly to the episode, just use the link in the show notes. Thanks for watching.